Hi crafty friends, Mary back with another design team projects for Dice R Us. This time I will be using this double layered or layered die called Layering Background Ocean Waves. It's by Creative Expressions. It's a Sue Wiston Wilson collection. It measures, let's see, it measures 11 by 7.7 centimeters, and each of the panels are 4.5 by 3.25. Yeah, 3.25 and just shy of 4.5. So they both are shy and a quarter. Neither of the two of the layers cuts the outside perimeter of the panels. So here are my two. I previously cut them for you to see. So if you see what I'm calling the top layer, and just going by the picture on the packaging, you could actually make the top layer whichever you want, but the way it's layered, this appears to be the top, and it has stitching marks. So the top layer will cut the waves, and it also cuts, and if you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it cuts little stitching marks every so often into the waves. The stitching marks around the frame in both panels, I just used a regular simple dotted rectangle die. So that's just from my normal supply. And I cut both my initial panels that I started off with, I cut them to 4 by 5.25. So I started with 2 panels. I die cut. I used one to die cut my top panel, and I used the second one to die cut my second panel. I used distressed ink with a blending brush to give my second layer, my bottom layer, some color, some blue color. In this case, since my 2 panels I'm not going to see the past, since they're the same size, I didn't worry about bringing the color all the way to the end. I just basically concentrated on the waves, on getting ink on the waves, and I didn't really worry about getting a perfect blend because it wasn't the look I was going for, and you're really not going to see a perfect blend regardless, because you're not going to see the whole panel anyways. And then initially I was going to keep the top layer white, but it was too stark white against the blue, the teal in the background. So what I did was, just using, since I used my glass mat to ink it, just using the ink that was left over on my glass mat, I put ink on the top panel, and it was just enough ink to give me a little bit of color, a little bit of blue highlight to make it not as stark white, and I like the look. So, and for those that want to know, if you kind of lose your orientation and don't know if you have your panels upside down, you'll notice that they don't necessarily line up. But once again, this is not necessarily a bad look either. You could totally go with this look. So they both work. So, but I'm going to go with this look where you could see just a little bit of shadow into every little cutout. And now for my bottom, or my, what I'm going to call my card base, I'm just using a regular card base that I cut down from a regular size cardstock. So I'm not sure at this point. I was going to put more blue behind it, but I decided not to. I decided to keep it a white, so that so that I have more contrast between the layers. So I'm going to keep it white, but I'm going to pop up the very top from this second layer with some foam. So let's do that. I'm going to use this generic foam that I got at one of the expos that I went to a while back. I don't even remember what the name of it is, or who I got it from right now. But I'm going to use it because it's thinner. It's not as let's see, is it? Oh, actually, I misspoke. It's thicker. We'll take it off because I want thinner, not thicker. And once again, I'm not worried that it's cutting a little bit of my it's peeling up a little bit of my paper, because you're not gonna see it. So, and in this case, I really want thin. Because I don't want to pop it up too much. Now, if you wanted to make a shaker card, you can. There's enough opening on this top layer that you could definitely make a shaker card. You can see the shaker elements, so it would definitely work out as a shaker card. But I'm not going to do a shaker. I am going to use a die cut of a, what do you call it, a seahorse. I have a seahorse right here. It's an old die from Diversions. The store does have some Diversion dies, and they do have a Diversion seahorse currently in stock, but not this die. This is an older die. So I will link that, the one that's currently in stock. I will link it in case you're interested in it. I will also link another one that looks more similar to this one from another brand that I like. And also there's a really cute one, a cute one from L'Enfant that's smaller, much smaller, that I like too, because that one would work really well for so you can have a lot of little ones, little seahorses all over your card. And that one would go really well with the bigger die, because then you could have like a little family of seahorses, and that would be really cute. So like I said, I'm just popping up this card. again, since it's not a shaker, you don't have to like make sure that all the little that your foam meets in all the little seams, because you don't have to worry about anything falling out. So there. So I was about to put foam in the middle, but I realized that I need to see what areas are going to be covered. So I'm going to take little slips and do it this way instead. On the back of the top one. Like that. There we go. That's a good place. Let's see. Okay, like that. Now obviously, so there's a little bit of, I didn't have it centered completely around, but I'll fix that in a minute. I think I'm off camera here. Let me move this away a little bit. And I will trim this, undercut the bottom layer a little so that it doesn't show as much. I think that's good. Okay, so that's good. So now let's mount this onto this, and I think for that the best way to mount is I'm going to use foam score tape. So that it nice strong tape. Have you guys had a chance to look at some of the new stuff that's in the store? Oh, my wish list is growing so fast. And before you know it, I know I hate to say this, but before you know it, you know, the designers all work ahead of the calendar, and before you know it, Halloween and stuff will be hitting the market, and I'm a sucker for Halloween stuff. So one tiny piece over there. Bingo. There we go. So my card is fixed on there. And as usual, is you know, it's on a little crooked. I have a issue with, you know, putting stuff on crooked. So here are some of the seahorses that I made. So this one, I'll show you how I did this one. I used a sheet of paper that's has flakes of gold, and it has yellow into oranges for the paper underneath, and then on the top I just used what's orange glitter paper. For this one, I used just regular, underneath it I used just regular white paper or white cardstock, and I just used orange glitter paint and painted it, and then over it I used yellow glitter paper. I cut the seahorse in yellow glitter paper, and then the seahorse in orange glitter paper, so that they match the teal. I think I'm going to use this one. And the reason I wanted the dimension is because I want to kind of put the little seahorse, kind of tuck him in here. Come on, stick him in there somehow. Let's see if I can get him in here. Go up higher a little. There we go. I want to get his little tail to curve around one of the waves, like that. And then I want him to go under and over. See if I could do that. I don't know if I like that so much. Maybe not this one. Maybe I'll put him under this one. Bring him out under the other one. Try not to break the wave, because... Okay, there we go. Kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like his little body to be a little fatter, so I think I'm going to put a little foam underneath the body. Like, come on, go up higher. There we go. That's good. There's my little horse, my little seahorse. Oh, he's cute. I like him. Do I want to put another one? If I put another one, I'm almost tempted to put a third one, so I'm not going to put another one. I may put a little caption later on, but right now I think I'm going to do some glossy accents. So let's see. I have, this is called Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze. And Sea Breeze is very pale. And I have Caribbean Ocean, which is very Caribbean Ocean-like. It's very, I think it'll match that. And we'll just do a couple of little dots. And I'm putting these dots kind of all over the card. Kind of made them in a line. The other thing, I think I want to put a big, I don't know. No, I think I'm good. So that's the card. Yeah, I think that's good for now. So once again, let's review. I use this die. I use the Creative Expressions Ocean Waves Layering Background die, which is 2 dies. They can be used together or separate to create a layered wavy background. And I die cut a couple of other samples for you to give you some other ideas. So here is a panel where I took the top where the piercing is and I just die cut it twice the long way. I kind of made it so that I made it as close to the previous placement as possible to minimize the amount of empty space, and it wasn't too bad. So I mean, it doesn't look awful because I was trying. Oh, somebody made an appearance. It's trying to minimize the space so that I can create maybe a slim card. But going on a, let's see, where's Stormy? Be careful. Where's my slim card that I had from the other day? Here's a slim card that I had. No, this is too big. This is not the right size. Okay, here, let's go with an envelope. So, this is an envelope. The slim card would have to be slightly smaller than this size. This is how big? So doubling the full amount, this is 9. No. This is almost 8 3/4. And the envelope is 9. So, depending on how big of a slim card, how tall of a slim card you want, you may have to play around with this. So if you wanted to go double, that's what you're looking at. You can play around with this where you can cut it and pierce it together and maybe put something in the middle. Maybe your caption in the middle to hide the seam of both, which is something maybe that I would do. Another way to use the die, and let me move the card over here so that the glossy accents can dry. Here's another thing that I did, another example that I did, and let me bring this over so you can see it. I did this one also using the top one with the piercing, but instead of going down, or instead of going, vertically with the die, I went horizontally with the die. So I took a slim card design also. So a strip of paper measuring, in this case, it was close to 10 inches, and went across this way, butting it up each time. So in the first time I did it, there was very little gap. The second time I did it, I left almost like 1/4 of an inch of a gap. And you can see it by the little spacing there. But you can see over here, there was no spacing. So, and then with my scissors, I kind of trimmed away the gap on some of them to give the impression of longer waves. So, I mean, this is kind of cool too. And once again, depending on how you use a piece like this, you could get away with it. Because let's say if you wanted to put an element, you could put your element right in the middle of your gap, and nobody would know that that gap was there, right? So now you have your slim card. If you're doing a slim card, a horizontal slim card, now you have your slim card that, and you have your element hiding that gap. Or that seam, I should say. So definitely an option. And once again, the same thing could be done here. You could hide that seam. So this die is cool. I think it's very versatile. So don't shy away from it. When I first saw it, I was a little depressed. Not depressed. I was a little disappointed that it wasn't bigger than what it is. I thought it would cover a whole card. But after playing around with it, I'm kind of glad that it is the size it is, because it gives you the ability to use it more than just as more than just what it would have been for had it been the size of a true A2 card. This way, I can use it on as I'm demonstrated right now. And for me, that's actually a little bit more versatile. So I hope I've inspired you to try some stuff different, some different stuff, and shown you that this die can be very versatile. I'm looking forward to trying it, to continuing with this, these extra die cuts samples and doing some stuff with those. And I will add them to the blog if I get them done in time, or on a future blog post. But for the time being, I will post this one card and the video on how I did it in Friday's post. In the meantime, I will say goodbye and see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye.